The purpose of the game is to educate the youth about the role of His Highness, Sheikh Zayed in the building of what we call the modern United Arab Emirates. The game focuses on 4 different elements to enhance player learning from all aspects. These elements include game activities to progress through the eras, policies and plans laid by His Highness Sheikh Zayed, learning of the culture of the Emirates, teaching the youth about the history of United Arab Emirates. The game starts from the early era in the city of Al Ain, where Sheikh Zayed became the ruler's representative in 1948. Welcome to Al Ain. This is the early era and we are in 1940s. We will start our journey from Al Ain, situated 160 kilometers east of Abu Dhabi and about 120 kilometers south of Dubai. Al Ain is the second largest city in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and the 4th largest city in the United Arab Emirates. The reason of starting from Al Ain is that it is the birthplace of Sheikh Zayed and he spent his early life here. This is the Al Ain Palace. It was originally built in 1910 on the western side of the Al Ain Oasis. Sheikh Zayed used to live in Al Ain Palace until 1966. It was a social and political hub of the region. The people of UAE at that time lived in harsh and poor conditions. They lived simple lives, but had their traditions and gatherings. There are activities and tasks which the player has to perform in order to follow the footsteps of Sheikh Zayed. For example, the first game activity is to develop and decorate a colony in Al Ain. The player also needs to build community buildings like mosques, markets, trees and other decorative structures. In the game, actions and policies of Sheikh Zayed are also shown, such as how he built the first modern school with his own money and revised the local water ownership rights. Another aspect of the game is to show the culture of UAE and educate the youth. There are landmarks in the game, which shaped the UAE in a powerful and important country of the world. Such as, the last objective of the era is to build a port in Das Island and export first crude oil cargo. When the first crude oil cargo is exported, the player unlocks Abu Dhabi, where Sheikh Zayed became the ruler in 1966. Welcome to Abu Dhabi. Sheikh Zayed became the ruler of Abu Dhabi in 1966. Abu Dhabi is the capital of United Arab Emirates. It is situated in the northeastern part of the Arabian Gulf in the Arabian Peninsula. This is Qasr Al Hassan, also known as the White Fort. It is the Emirates' first permanent structure. It was constructed in 1761 as a conical watchtower. Oil had been discovered, but at this time, the people of Abu Dhabi still lived in wooden and mud houses. Fishing was the main source of income, and for that, most of the houses were built near the shore. In this era, which lasts from 1966 to 1971, the player has to complete more activities. These include fishing, building community buildings such as hotels, hospitals, schools, and setting up industries. Major game activities include building Magta Bridge, Zayed Port, Al Bateen Airport, etc. Similar to the early era, the policies of Sheikh Zayed are shown for this era as well, such as making government structure, hiring architects to plan the city, developing Abu Dhabi Fund, and more. In this era, major focus is on the formation of UAE. The player learns about all the meetings that took place before the historic day. Furthermore, the player also learns about the determination and efforts of His Highness, Sheikh Zayed, and His Highness, Sheikh Rashid. These events also include the British announcement, Dubai Agreement, etc. The culture and lifestyle of the people is shown, such as fish market, the difficulty faced when crossing the islands, etc. The player needs to complete the mega task of the formation of UAE to progress to the next era. The player has to unite the 7 Emirates, namely Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, Fujairah, and Al Kuwain to complete this task. After the formation of UAE, the player moves into the next era where Dubai is also unlocked. Welcome to Dubai. Dubai is the most populous city in the United Arab Emirates. By the 1960s and 1970s, Dubai's economy was based on revenues from trade. The people lived simple lives and water was the main source of income for most. In the 1970s, after the discovery of oil, Dubai had already embarked on a period of infrastructural development and expansion. You must now develop Dubai and also follow the steps by Sheikh Zayed for the development of the region. In this era, the player has numerous game activities such as constructing roads and developing different community buildings. Landmarks such as Port Rashid, Dubai World Trade Center, and Zayed Sports Stadium are also built by the player. The policies and steps taken by Sheikh Zayed and the Federation of UAE are also displayed to the player for learning purposes. These include making dirham the currency of UAE, inaugurating Abu Dhabi television, donating to various causes, issuing a decree to prevent the hunting of wild animals, etc. The last era starts from 1990. In this era, the player can see the effects of the struggle of Sheikh Zayed starting to pay off. The game activities of this era revolve around developing UAE into a modern wonderland. Sheikh Zayed's policies in this era are shown as well, such as establishing diplomatic ties with different countries, supporting and promoting women empowerment, donating to various countries, focusing on the defense and armed forces. The culture in this era is shown, such as camel race and National Day celebrations. The user develops various landmarks in order to complete tasks such as Aldar Headquarters, Sheikh Zayed Bridge, Burj Al Arab, Officers Club, Sheikh Zayed Mosque, Yas Island, etc. A special video tribute to His Highness, Sheikh Zayed is played when the player reaches the year 2004. The player is told that the UAE continue to prosper in the leadership of His Highness, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed, His Highness, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, and His Highness, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. The game ends when the user builds Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. Not knowing your history means not knowing your future. They planted the seeds, we harvest. We plant the seeds, they will harvest. Thank you for watching. Idea conceived by Obaid Sagir Al-Kubaisi.